I also had the thought that it was kind of a reskin of Pocahontas. You have the white guy
What?
infiltrating the other group.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
Are you
John
right?
It's the
was
same as Avatar.
No,
Yeah.
John Smith was never undercover.
No,
But he's a white guy
besides
that was with one
But
group.
Blue
and he joins
People
the other
Avatar,
group.
though, he is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Blue People Avatar is literally.
It's two
Wait a
groups.
minute.
One guy joins the other group and decides to be with that group
this
instead.
came before Avatar, so it was Avatar Fast and the Furious.
With Blue People.
Well, I think the source material is still Pocahontas. But
Yeah.
Welcome back to the big room. It's episode 35.
35.
Yeah.
Who cares? We watched The Fast and the Furious. The first one. A 22-year-old movie.
The
The
first
first
one
of
is
10?
The Fast and the Furious.
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Fast and not to be confused with Fast,
Fast
and Furious.
and Furious.
Which is the fourth
Or
movie.
Too Fast, Too Furious.
Which is the second movie.
Or just Fast.
Fast.
Five?
There's
no,
Fast. It's
Five.
just Fast.
Oh,
It's Fast 5. And then there's F9.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
F that.
You know what? Let's start
let's read them all.
by not reading them all. Can you look them up, though?
Let's not. Okay.
You looked them up. I wanted to mention at the top of the show that we have a Discord, and people should join it. Links are everywhere. There's a link in the bio of Twitch. There's a link in the YouTube. There's a link in the link tree. There's a link in the podcast thing you're watching right now. The only place there's not a link is TikTok, because TikTok hates links. So, but you won't see this on TikTok because you don't stream there yet, even though it is only one other button to press. But I'm afraid of my feeble, weak, expensive internet being able to handle live streaming to two platforms at once. So you know what? We're
I
just
thought you were
going
going to say computer.
no.
It's an internet
No, my computer's fine.
Our internet data.
I'm sorry for every
No, when you're not streaming on a nobody cares. All right, so I want to mention one other thing. I want to give some pre-show props to people that aren't me. Danielle made 2 reels while I was gone, and they did very well. Applause.
Aw, thank
No
you.
one can hear your fist pump,
They can
jackass.
see it.
Not on the podcast.
Yeah,
They
it's
can.
good radio.
Yeah, good radio. I want to give props
Aw.
to Nick for making all the thumbnails. Good thumbnails.
Yay, Nick.
Nice.
Claps for himself.
And to Carl for being behind the scenes and making all of our horrendously long outlines.
Yay,
Oh, yeah.
Carl.
He also did the
Yeah.
logo, which is some of his best work.
It's true.
And one day it'll be done.
One
One day we'll be done.
Oh boy, I don't get any props because screw it. So no, let's now read.
Let's now read.
Let's now read from in chronological order the names of the movies, please. Starting with The Fast and the Furious, which is what we watched.
That is what we watched. And then we go to Too Fast, Too Furious.
Number two, both times. Not one number 2, like big one, Too Fast, and then Too Furious, but two number 2s,
Two number 2s.
which I don't like.
Then we have Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Yep,
Then we have just Fast and Furious.
which is probably the most confusing
Wow.
title.
Then we have Fast 5,
Yep.
Fast and Furious 6, Furious 7. We're not fast anymore.
We're just
Only
furious.
Furious.
We're
angry.
just
But
Furious.
we were Fast 5,
We were Fast
and
5.
now we're Furious 7.
Seven.
What was 6 again?
Fast and Furious 6. So we were both Fast and Furious
For briefly.
for number 6.
We were
got it back
fast.
together
We were
again
fast
for
and
one more
furious.
movie.
Now we're furious.
Now we're
7.
just Furious.
What's 8?
The Fate of the Furious.
Fate, but is it like F8?
No.
Oh,
Wait, is it the 8th movie?
yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't put the 8?
No.
What a missed opportunity. That's
That's a
They did not
misstep.
do that. And then it's just F9.
F9.
Just F.
I don't
We're
like
not
that. That's
Fast
my
and
least
Furious.
favorite.
We're just F.
Press F.
And then Fast X.
Fast X, not
But do you
10.
say 10
Fast
or
You
do you
should
say
say
X?
10. Yeah.
Fast
It's like the iPhone 10, but everybody called it the iPhone X.
I was going to say that, but I didn't want you to
And it
make fun
was-
of me again.
And it was the 9th iPhone. It
Classic Apple Nick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
was the 9th iPhone, right?
I don't know.
Because we skipped 9. There was no 9.
That's true. It was probably.
No,
the-
it came out at the same time as the 8. Did it not?
it did.
And it
8,
was like,
8 and 10. So it was probably like the 7th or 8th.
yeah, whatever. But it was the 10th anniversary.
Oh, no. You have the S series. So now it's probably way more than 10.
God.
It was probably like the 12th.
You're right. But it was the 10th,
10th
year,
year.
no?
10th
yeah.
year.
Yeah.
2017.
And that was Apple Corner. We'll never do that again.
Apple Corner. I mean, we
We're not
might.
going to talk about
I pre-ordered my phone today.
Of course you did.
My pre-order is ready to hit send.
A big thing that you can come do with us when you join our Discord is shit on the Apple showcase.
It was fun
because we did it for the whole time.
My bit is
I was crying.
We
I like
definitely
to talk
worked-
trash, but then also buy the products.
Yes,
Classic.
I don't do that. We also definitely worked very hard the whole time, bosses. First word in this movie is shit. That's what I wrote down.
Yeah.
That was it. They also got their one F-bomb for a PG-13 rated movie out of the way in Act 1, which I thought was interesting. They really got that out
Rip
early.
that Band-Aid right off.
This
yeah.
movie also has... No, we should talk a little bit about it. There's some street racing. And that's the
There
whole plot.
is.
There's
No.
some
Somewhat.
less than I expected. Street racing.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
There really isn't that much.
It was
It had a lot
maybe
more to do with
two or three races.
crime.
Mhm.
Because, they're hijacking
It
semi-trucks and stealing something.
Panasonic TVs.
But no, those were all paid for.
Yeah, that's true.
DVD players. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the
remember,
other ones weren't.
remember when Panasonic was the brand?
My first note was it's Panasonic! Exclamation point.
Yeah.
Aw.
Good times.
Yeah, Paul Walker's in it. Rip.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Uh,
I don't know why I laughed.
Vin Diesel. This is my first Vin Diesel movie, I think, other than Iron Giant.
Iron
Oh
Giant?
my
He's the
God,
Iron Giant.
Is he really?
Forgot about
He's the
that.
voice of the Iron
You
Giant.
never saw the
That's
pacifier?
an amazing movie.
No, I never
Oh,
saw
the
it.
pacifier is awesome.
Triple X?
No.
No.
saw
I do
those.
like. I
The
did
Riddick-
like.
I mean, he's Groot. He's Groot.
he's
and
Groot. Okay, you're right. You're right. So it's
That barely counts.
yeah.
That's all voice acting. Yeah.
And he says 3 words.
This is one
so.
one line. Yeah, in different emotions though. So no, I thought he was my favorite part. I feel like Paul Walker's line delivery was a little wooden. Everybody's
Yes.
line delivery, to be
Yeah.
fair.
I said I owed you a 10-second car.
Yeah, it's
Every
pretty bad.
scene in this movie felt like a cutscene from GTA 5.
Okay, true. What I wrote down was that it felt like an upscaled Disney Channel original,
Yes.
decom.
Yeah.
and that is not a knock. That's not a knock.
No.
I had a great time watching this.
No.
It's
movie.
a little bit of a knock.
No. It's 2001 though.
Yeah.
I feel like you get a free pass for like kind of like an upscaled Disney Channel original movie in 2001 is kind of just a movie.
The OG Disney Channel
Yeah.
original movies were like so good.
What's that Just Skate Better one?
Brink?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
Xenon
Yeah.
Girl
Saw
of the
that.
21st Century.
I had a note that it
Xenon
felt like a
was good.
CW
So
show, like
Uh-huh.
Smallville or
Yeah.
something.
So
Yeah.
we've
all kinda
Like that
got
overly dramatic. Yeah.
Kind of
It's like a soap opera for car guys.
Similar vibes. Yeah.
I like that.
It also has the most unhinged and my favorite line in any movie ever is, and I quote, "What's up with this fool? What is he sandwich crazy?"
I don't remember that one.
It's when
Is
Paul
that when he's
Walker-
eating the
Oh my
tuna?
God.
He's eating the
He's
tuna.
the guy
and
with
he
the
orders-
fishnets for a top.
Yeah. The double tank
Like-
top guy that probably should have died, but this movie was too scared to pull that
I thought he was going to die.
move. But no, yeah, I guess Paul Walker's in some territory he shouldn't be. I don't know really why they don't like him. He's just ordering tuna
Well,
sandwiches.
because he's a
from-
new guy in their territory.
Dom's
and they're
sister.
like, who's this
New is
guy?
suspicious.
Yeah.
What is he? Sandwich crazy?
No
I
one
kept-
likes the tuna, and he's eating the
and
tuna.
he's eating the tuna with no crust though, because he's
No crust.
4 years
He's
old.
a baby? Like,
Yeah.
you're a man. Eat the crust.
Bad, but I kept
He's trying to get in with a crime gang. And he's like, I know how I'll do it. I'll take the crust off my sandwich. Like I'll show I'm tough.
A real bad boy.
Yeah.
What is he sandwich crazy? I kept repeating that during the movie and just dying laughing. It's like just like
I
sandwich
completely
crazy?
missed that line.
Dude, oh my god, how? I rewound twice.
We laughed about it
One
for
more
like 10
time.
minutes.
I was like, yeah, I need more. What is this? What is he sandwich crazy? Wow. That's literally all the notes I had on the movie.
This is sandwich
Hysterical.
crazy.
And end of
In the
episode. We'll
end.
see you in the next one. No, so it's another. I feel like our 5th movie in a row, but that's not true. It's exaggerated. Where we have a mole situation
It's
or
at
a
least our
rat
second.
situation.
There's been a lot of moles, though. I mean, they're all leaving
What
my head right
movies have
now.
we watched?
What movies have we watched?
The Departed.
The
El-
Departed
That was
definitely
the
had a
whole
mole.
movie.
I mean,
Yeah.
there were moles in The Godfather.
The Godfather, yeah. The
There
crime
were
dramas.
moles in L.A. Confidential.
Uh,
There were moles in.
Scarface.
Yeah.
No, did
No?
Scarface have?
I don't know. I just thought mob
Scarface didn't have a mole, and Goodfellas didn't have a mole either. They had wires on
Mm.
the houses and stuff. in
movie.
there.
I feel like there's been a model mold.
Lots of secrets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This movie felt like, in a way, it had no stakes
Yeah, it was nice.
until
Like,
until the final,
Yeah.
like, we're gonna
Yeah.
rob another 18-wheeler for yet. Either I whiffed the reason, or
It was the mother load, apparently.
yeah, the motherload of
I
what?
don't know
Carl, did you
what,
catch anything?
though.
I
Not
thought it
gonna
was just
ask
because he
Nick.
loved doing it. I thought he loved it for the thrill of it.
The
Like he
love
just
of the
robbed to
game.
rob. Yeah. Which, yeah, kind of an irredeemable villain, but he still
no,
sides with
but
him.
he was making
Like-
for the monies. Steal
Yeah,
the
no, they
Their
made a big
cars,
deal
like-
about how like valuable that one was. Like they'd been
Yeah.
working for that.
I guess they had a fence too.
offense.
So fences are like when let's say you steal stuff, right? But you don't want to turn around and sell it because you want to make a high profile. You want to keep a low profile. So there's a fence, and they're essentially the middleman. So the fence buys the stuff that you stole off of you and sells it to on a black market. So I learned that from Escape from
Ooh.
Tarkov, the video game.
Learning.
Interesting.
Oh my god.
So the dogs are fighting,
We're only like 10 minutes in. This is
and-
crazy.
and it's a mess. So. No, yeah, so they're doing that kind of stuff. I guess that's how because Dom is they're street racers and they make money by racing on the street.
Yep.
We learned
As they do.
because Dom's banned from racetracks because he beat the shit out of a guy with a torque wrench.
Yeah.
Which is getting off pretty easy, I'd say.
Yeah,
But that was like
He
the
did-
guy
All right,
that-
you can't come around here anymore, but that's
well,
it.
and he did 2 years, didn't he, for something?
I
was
guess
it
that was
for
it.
that,
I guess
right?
I don't know
Yeah.
because they wanted him. I guess for
Still
why did
seems
the
like
cops
a
want him?
light
Because you're not
punishment.
supposed to street race. I don't know.
I don't know.
Give high profile warrants with like maybe it's the just I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think it matters.
No, I think it's too much thinking
He
into it. We're
stirs.
just,
He stirs up the peace.
all right,
He disturbs the peace.
cool things in the movie. Nos, cool.
Dude.
It's a drink too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's
a
like
drink?
running from Dom in the beginning. Brian is. And he goes back to the shop where he works and he goes, I know what I need. Nos. And my brain went, he wants a drink right now? He wants an energy drink? That's where they're going with this?
I need some
That's gonna
caffeine
fix
stat.
everything. I need a Nos. I was like, oh, right. That's not
Nitrous
where that
oxide.
comes from. Yeah.
Nitrous oxide. I think it makes your fuel richer, and that makes it burn more combustible. It gives you more horsepower. I think
Makes
that's how
cargo
that works.
fast.
I want to know, and I don't actually want to know because I can't be bothered. But there's no way that all the car shit was accurate, right? Like, there's no way.
No.
I mean, there's
That
no way for
everything
me to
goes-
know.
You're gonna bust your manifold, bro. Like,
Yeah,
there's
the
no.
car
And like
talk
when
was
he's
so
going
goofy.
fast with the Nos in the first race, and then screws start unscrewing and flying in his floorboards. I'm like, what?
Yeah, and then a piece of his floorboard falls out.
yeah,
But then, like the very next scene, Dom
Hey.
gets in, and it seems to be
yeah.
fine.
He did something with his pistons. You burned up your
Your piston cup.
cords
Cars.
and whatever, and then they just drive it away. No problem at all.
Yeah, that was weird.
It's like, all right, is the car steaming or not? But Nos, cool. Nos is cool.
Nos is
we think
cool.
Nos is cool.
Sure.
That's
100%.
Neon lights on the underside of cars.
Super cool.
Super cool.
In 2001, sure.
Need for Speed Underground 2, the video game.
Yes.
That was a
According to the
big,
chat, it's all
big
authentic.
thing.
So
Oh,
unless
it's
that's
all real.
sarcastic.
Oh.
100% authentic, says the
yeah.
chat. So hey, what do I know?
Nothing.
You're gonna stretch your sprockets, bro.
Your calibrator's out of whack.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Like, I don't know. tell me
Squeeze
anything,
too
I believe
hard
it.
You guys-
on it. You gotta squeeb less.
You guys have said that with too much energy for this movie. You gotta touch your sprocket.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
A cholo comes up
Yeah.
and is like, "You squeebed it too much."
Yeah.
Not gonna do a cholo accent. That'd be
No,
bad.
don't do that. We're live on the
I wish you
internet.
would.
So no, not nitrous. Cool. Under
Neon
car
lights.
sound.
Neon lights,
lighting,
cool.
Cool.
What else is cool?
Tank tops.
Tank
Very
tops are
cool.
really cool.
Very cool. Tank tops.
Snakeskin pants.
Snake
Those
tank
are
Sunglasses.
not cool.
Sunglasses.
No, those are not cool.
mesh shirts.
Yeah.
Cool.
No.
Mesh
The
tank
fashion
top.
reminded me of the Matrix when they wake up and they're just in the slums. It's all just kind of like found stuff almost. It's just like tattered. You're like
Just brown.
tiny sunglasses.
Give
yeah.
me that crossover.
Corona. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
It is your only option, though. Apparently, you can only drink Corona.
It's true.
What if they paid Corona for that, or vice versa? If Corona paid them to be like,
It had to be
there's a lot
some
of
kind of
product placement,
sponsorship.
like Nos, a brand of nitrous, Corona, a brand of beer. You know, the cars were super cool too. I mean, like super cool. Supras
wanted to
and Civics
think
and
that.
Jettas and Skyline GTRs and
I know it was 2001. but
Supras
it was
and-
hard for me to look at these cars and go, cool.
really.
Yeah.
Because that's like I want a third car because I'm a moron and I'm not gonna buy one. But like these are the era of cars, like '90s JDM, and like all these cars are legendary. I don't know if totally because of this movie, but it helped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like-
Even his truck, he had like a lowered F-150. I was like, oh, come on.
Well, that's a F-150. That's the first F-150 Lightning, though.
Oh, that probably was a Lightning, wasn't it?
No, it was. They gave you a super shot of the badge the first time he pulled up.
Shocker.
And
I
you
didn't
missed it.
notice.
But
Wow,
that
you
was-
missed a
that was
detail.
the-
Lightning shocker.
Yeah, the original F-150 Lightning. I thought it was cool. Family chat says family's cool.
Family
Family
is
is
cool.
Although did we get the "You Never Turn Your Back on Family" line? I don't think we did in this movie.
Not in
that's
this
one.
that's
Yeah,
got to
not
be
in this
from one
one.
of the ones. That's,
Family comes later in the franchise, from what I've heard.
They're not
Yeah.
a family yet.
Becomes a bigger deal.
They're-
Yeah.
they're
They're
on-
a family.
They're on the way though. Paul Walker's not in the family yet.
Yeah. He is
He's
by
still
the
in the
end. He
outs.
definitely is at the end.
So is he a cop?
What they
still?
call themselves a team or something? Because he's
It's a
like,
team.
"What's the
That's
gang?"
true.
And they're like, "It's a team." So yeah, it's not quite a family yet.
All right, that's
Because
fair.
gangs
We'll
are
get there.
bad, but teams
Gang's bad.
Teams
yeah.
are cool.
Teams are good.
I mean-
Gang bad. Team good. If the Crips and Bloods would just rebrand themselves as teams, good.
No problem.
No problem.
Red team, blue team.
I have
Yeah.
a question.
Yeah.
So Cameron was very bothered by Vin Diesel's sister's forehead.
5 head.
I thought she was attractive.
Big ass.
What did you
forehead.
guys think? Did you
That's
think?
not to
I
say
didn't
she
see
wasn't.
a big forehead. I didn't.
Dude, the
I thought
establishing
I
shot.
was like,
this-
The very first shot of her
making the
was-
tuna,
was jarring.
and she's got
No. Not okay. I was thinking of the other chick. I'm trying to find.
no,
her
no,
name.
no, not the Fast and Furious like racing lady, not her.
His
Dom's
sister,
girl. His
okay.
sister's the
No,
tuna
she
lady.
was-
Massive forehead.
I didn't think it was that big.
First establishing shot, she's like tuna again or whatever. This guy's sandwich crazy, and her forehead's big.
Mia.
Yeah, who
I would have
cares?
never remembered her name.
I mean,
There's only 2 names worth remembering in this movie: Dom and Family.
I see it now, but it didn't bother me.
Oh, I went.
He was so
I'll have to look
bothered
at
by
it again.
I was like huge. Like I could. Her head's
You're like,
her
it.
forehead.
Lord.
Have you seen any of the Austin Powers?
No.
Oh, never mind. There's a guy with a mole on his face, and the other guy can't stop saying mole. It's a whole
Mole.
How about
thing.
no?
Molly,
Molly.
mole.
Okay, don't peek the microphone. God, someone's car radio speakers just blew up.
Sorry.
Good.
Need to get new ones from
A
wherever-
faster one.
Yeah,
A furiouser
more
one.
furious.
The radio.
What a movie. I don't know. I don't know what else to talk about.
What
in
else
this movie.
happened?
It was
We
a
don't-
good movie.
Well, I mean, we could loosely talk about the plot. We haven't really
Go ahead. Let's
talked
do it.
about what's going on. Because he's an undercover cop.
Yeah, Brian is. He's an undercover cop, so he's trying.
Brian.
And one of the guys, the guy that we hate. What was his name? Tank top guy. Tank top over
We'll
tank
call him
top.
Tank Top.
No, we
I
gotta.
don't remember his name.
I don't
I don't
remember any
remember
names
any
in this movie.
names.
Should have
I
I
wrote
think his
some
name
down.
was Vince, but I think I might just be thinking of
Vince. It is
Vince.
Vince.
Is it Vince? Okay.
One of
Yeah.
their
Or Vin Diesel, not Vince Diesel. Okay, yeah.
what?
Nah, Vince. Vince. He thinks that Brian's a cop like the whole movie. He keeps being like, but he's a cop, and he's
He
super
even
right the whole
straight
time.
up asks him,
Yeah.
and he
Well,
doesn't
Dom
say
asked
no.
him. Dom straight up
Oh,
asked
does
him if
okay.
he's a cop.
He doesn't say no. I'm like, it's not helping your case.
He's just like, I just want to win. It's
I
like
was
just
just doing recon.
they buy that, and then they're like, okay, we believe you so much. Let's go do more recon, which is wild.
Seems like a good idea. Let's go.
And all the factions are weirdly racial. Do y'all
Yeah.
notice that?
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. It was so obvious.
It's like here's
true.
the Hispanic gang, and then here's the Asian gang.
They ride motorcycles.
and they got motorcycles, and we call them
And
crotch
Uzis, yeah.
rockets, and they've got Uzis, and it's a little on the nose.
It's a
Yeah.
little on the
And we
nose.
all it was missing was like a gong hit every time they were on. It's like, oh no, Johnny Trent's here. Gong. Like, woof. It was bad.
I didn't really understand why what's you just said his name? What was the
Johnny Tren, right?
Tren?
Tran.
Tren.
His
Tran?
his whole crew.
That was Trey.
Tran. Sorry.
Because originally they make you think that they're the ones that are like hijacking the semi trucks. Because they have all the Panasonic TVs and whatever they were.
Is that what you
For
thought it was?
whatever reason.
But
But no, Tran gets that pinned on him when they make the arrest, and they're like, "Oh, they were all paid for."
I just don't understand why they hate Dom's crew so much.
They're at different territories.
Well, Dom slept with his sister too.
That's true.
Yeah, and
That's
they're
true.
and the whole main conflict with them that we get introduced to, because we get introduced to them. I keep burping because guess what? We eat Chipotle again. Even though
Classic.
That'll do it.
I have a rule to not eat Chipotle before the show. We broke it.
We love it.
When Dom, so they do a big straight race, right? And it's the one we were talking about earlier, where Brian hits the nos, and then his floor starts falling apart, and it's super stupid. And then his car blows up. There's steam everywhere, and then it drives perfectly for a bit, and then more steam, and then it drives perfectly again.
Yep.
So the cops come, and everybody has to scatter because they're doing big street racing, and the team, as it were, leaves Dom to fend for himself, and everybody else just goes
Rude.
back to the hideout, their clubhouse,
Party.
to party and drink Corona and play one guitar chord over and over. That was driving me absolutely crazy. Tank Top would not stop playing one guitar. He would go like, "Wow, wow, wow," and then just did that like 40,000 times over music, over it. Like music's playing, and wouldn't you be like, "Stop!" Like if someone was doing that at a party.
They're too busy making out. They're not
worst.
paying attention.
True.
And but while he's playing guitar, one chord over and over, Dom goes, "I know where I'll hide in a parking garage right here."
Just like in GTA.
Yeah,
He drove in there to get rid of the 5 stars.
He should have driven into the paint shop and gotten a new
That's
paint.
true.
And then,
They never would have known.
So what Brian does is, I guess, so Dom parks his car and then just walks down the street, and a cop car drives past him, and he's like, "Be cool." He doesn't say that, but that's what he's thinking. And then the cop car, like, which they're old Crown Vics, and I loved. It reminded me of Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, the old Crown Vics.
yeah.
Like, what a game. The cop just turns around and starts driving at him, and then Brian pulls up in his, again, we've established broken car with a blown engine that still totally works.
Get in.
And picks Dom up, and then Dom thinks he's cool because he didn't let him abandon him. But they got picked up by Johnny Trans people because they were in his territory. That was where that problem was.
okay.
He's like, "You're in my territory,"
So
or
that's
whatever.
kind of started
Yeah,
some
that
beef
started
there.
there's clearly long-lasting beef, but that was our introduction to the beef, was that whole scene.
That makes sense.
And then they shoot the car all to
They
pieces.
did. They blew it up.
Which felt excessive.
Also, fun fact: so the fire that after the car blows up is like green and blue, and I had to Google, does nitrous burn green or blue? No, of course not.
Oh.
Super doesn't.
Well,
So
shoot.
first of all, nitrous doesn't burn often because it burns really hot. So you have to. It's like 500 degrees Fahrenheit before it ignites, and when it first it explodes more often than it burns because it's so volatile, and then when it burns invisible because the fire's so hot.
But invisible fire is not
Wham.
fun for a movie.
No.
Green fire. Also,
Very fun.
cars don't explode when you shoot them.
Yeah, no, that's what I was.
Hey.
Maybe cars filled with Nas do though.
No.
Brah.
Well, maybe.
You know how much
Brah.
Nas was in there?
You know
So
how
much-
much
you had
two big
Two cans of
Yeah.
Nas.
enough to make your squeeb squab blow, man. You gotta keep your rotors from flipping. Cars are just magic.
Yes.
Man,
just
you
magic.
sound like the one guy that, spoilers, gets killed at the end. The
Oh
kid.
yeah, I forgot about that.
He was one of my
That
favorite
was
parts.
sad.
I figured at least one person was going to die. I didn't think it was going to be him.
Didn't you
No.
like the fun future technology of throwing a floppy disk in a floppy disk drive and then
That
like
was
an animated supercon?
Freaking hysterical.
That reminded me of
be
The Matrix 2, and that kid was like one for one with that other nerdy kid that made that lady.
Right.
It's like, and he died too. It's like the same exact trope. I was like, this is The
man.
Matrix for car people. Like,
title of the episode.
you know. I also had the thought that it was kind of a reskin of Pocahontas. You have the white guy
What?
infiltrating the other group.
Tell us, Carl.
Please
That's
explain.
Let's
as
hear
far
it.
as I
Let's
got.
hear
I
it.
might need help with it.
There's
That's
a
basically-
white. What?
It's a white guy going like undercover into another group, and he kind of joins them instead of going with the regular people. It's Pocahontas.
Are you talking? This is the Disney Pocahontas.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
'Cause
are you
John
right?
Smith
it's the
was
same as Avatar.
No,
Yeah,
John Smith was never undercover.
No,
but he's a white guy
besides
that was with one group.
But
and he
Blue
joins
People
the other
Avatar
group.
though he is.
Yeah,
I mean,
Blue People Avatar is literally.
it's just
Yeah.
Wait a
one
minute.
guy joins the other group and decides to be with that group
this
instead.
came before Avatar, so is Avatar Fast and the Furious?
Blue People.
Well, I think the source material is still Pocahontas. But
Yeah.
Pocahontas. Hang on, I'm writing this
Yeah.
down. Pocahontas for car people. That's
No,
amazing.
wait.
No, I think you're right. That's
The Matrix for car
fantastic.
people.
the whole time I was
for-
watching this, I was like, "This is like this for car people, or it's like wrestling for car people. It's just other
Is
things for
it
car people." I was just
Pocahontas
trying to
or
make
the
it make
Matrix
sense.
for car people?
You know what
Yeah.
they think? You know what they say, Carl?
I was like, "One of these is gonna stick. Like, we'll see which one works."
Some people say this is just a simulation from the Matrix.
Ooh.
Oh, man. Yeah,
Can we
it's an
just
undercover
stop?
cop
I'm just
simulation.
kidding.
Can we stop doing
No,
that?
no. Everything is the
The
Matrix.
chat's saying, "Let me cook," so I might be onto something.
Yeah, then
Oh, God.
we jump from that to there's some other races and whatever happens and it's
The
dumb.
the
Race
race wars.
Well, race wars is later.
Which, given all the
What's-
races in this
what's-
movie, you would think it would be an actual
Because
race
first,
war.
Brian,
but no,
we get like these interstitial cuts of like Brian talking with his other officers, like the detectives and his superiors. He's like, "I
Yeah.
need more time," and they're like, "You just like the girl," and he's
You've
like,
got 38 hours. Or
"No!"
whatever.
that's not true.
And he punches somebody because it totally was about the girl, and it's like, my point. You've just proven. Give me a cigarette. I'll get you a cigarette. No,
What
you
was
just
up with
quit.
that?
You
Yeah, what
can't
was
have
up
a
with that?
cigarette.
Yeah,
Give me
that
a
was like
cigarette. No, you
character
can't have a
development?
cigarette.
I don't know.
Shut up, Dad.
Yeah.
It's like, man, was there anti-smoking
I
propaganda?
thought you quit. Yeah.
It's like,
I legit thought that they were going to be related for a second. I was like, why does this man care so much?
I know, it's crazy. Get
Cares
over your
about his
cigarette
lungs.
craving with a
I mean,
tall
yeah.
glass of milk. Like what?
Delicious.
So weird. So weird. Brian gets caught sneaking in the warehouses, yeah, and then there's the overhearing of the Asian. So what they were
They
beating
throw
up-
some oil down some man's throat.
that
That
was their
was
fence.
rough.
Oil boarding.
That was
Yeah,
their
yeah.
fence. So yeah, the oil thing was cool, and then the kiss my shoes, and he kicks him in the jaw. I'm like, oh, classic. That was dumb because they get to the thing, and then they get like the Asian dude. They're spying on their warehouse thing to see their cars, which is BS or whatever, to do recon before race wars.
Yeah.
And then they show up with their fence, drown him in oil, beat the
They
crap
do.
out of him
'Cause they
the
didn't give him engines.
weren't
Our
there in
engines are
time.
gone.
They weren't there yet. They had shipped them, but they weren't there yet. And Race Wars was soon. And then Race Wars also on the nose.
Yeah.
This is an illegal event, right?
I
Yeah.
don't know. It looked like it was
Yeah.
just on some.
They were on private. They were on government breaking in on government property.
Yeah, but they had security. and
They had
stuff.
security guards.
But it was
felt
like
a freaking
their
It's like a
it
festival.
was
sponsored
like
event.
their security though. I assumed
Okay.
I
it was
mean,
like-
probably.
the race war gods put security in
The
charge.
race war
It wasn't like police officer security. It was like
Yeah.
right.
I mean,
Or
I
was
assume
it?
But anybody can be bought, I guess.
it just felt like a very well put on event for an illegal.
Maybe it wasn't
activity.
illegal.
Maybe
It had
not.
to be illegal. They were throwing around like $2,000.
Yeah,
like
but you
they,
can
Yeah.
do that in sanctioned drag racing.
I guess.
If
I don't know.
racing for pinks, man.
I
Did you know
assumed
about
it was
pink slips
illegal.
before this movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did not.
Because
Oh, yeah.
in movie musical Grease, they
Of
race for
course.
pinks.
I should
That's
probably
right, they
watch
do
that.
that.
Grease
in
is good.
Grease is better than this movie, but this movie is very good. But Grease is like, dude.
That's a weird comparison, I feel.
Grease
But
is
I've never.
It's both car racing movies.
Classic.
I had
That's
another
true.
comparison that this movie reminded me of Roadhouse a little bit, and that it like really elevates one subculture of like we're bartenders and we have famous bartenders, and it's like we have street racers and there's famous street racers. It just felt very like let's make one niche genre like an entire
Do you remember?
like,
Do
ecosystem.
you remember the
Like,
number one rule in Roadhouse?
Be nice.
Until it's time not to be.
You don't
nice.
have to not be nice. Yeah. Drive fast until it's time to not drive fast.
Be furious until you don't have to be furious.
Be fast until it's time to be furious.
Yeah, they're both good movies. They're both campy as all get out too.
Very
Yeah.
campy, yeah.
They're like so bad they're good in a way.
Here's the thing. I've heard so many like crazy over the top stories about these movies. This one felt pretty chill.
Oh no, that's
Like
the
I
thing.
know it's only
That's why you've heard so
uphill
many,
or downhill, depending on how you feel.
That's why I've heard so many stories about how crazy
I-
they are, because
alright.
it starts as a racing movie and ends with like Dwayne the Rock Johnson stomp kicking a parking garage into rubble.
Yeah.
mean,
It's
that's the
Dom.
only-
All the action
Dom
was
does
pretty
that.
grounded.
Very
Oh,
And
Dom
it's all
does that,
like
sorry.
shot
Are
with
you gonna-
actual cars and stuff, like actual stunt drivers. It wasn't CGI. It was all very.
Oh yeah, they don't use a lot of CGI
practical.
in these films.
Yeah.
They're just trashing. Sometimes real cars, sometimes kit cars when it comes to the really expensive stuff.
Are you going to watch more of these?
100%.
I found an article that I have to watch more after reading this, and it was titled something along the lines of Dominic's superpowers from all movies, and I wrote a couple down.
Okay, please God.
Driving was one of them, of course. Marksman, sure. Master mechanic, okay.
These are all just
These aren't
Superpowers.
superpowers.
Car
These
guy
are
But
jobs.
then they
skills.
go into spatial awareness
Okay.
because he does the right exact maneuvers at the
so he's
right
got,
exact
he's got
time.
like the Spidey sense or the Sherlock Holmes
Yeah,
thing,
exactly.
the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes thing.
Cool.
Oh, that was a good movie.
Great movie.
It's a fun
and
movie.
then it starts to get crazier. He's fireproof. Apparently, at one point
Ooh.
he drives a car that's completely on fire, but doesn't get burnt.
Shout out to
Okay,
the
this
movie
is getting into power
Fireproof.
territory.
yeah,
He
yeah.
has impervious skin. He walks away without a scratch every time. And
That's
then
kind of fireproof.
the end of this list, he has super strength. Apparently, he picks up a 3,000-pound car at one point.
No.
He has advanced healing abilities. The article said, and I quote, that he recovers from injuries faster than Wolverine.
That's pretty
And
fast.
then, and then the classic. I almost looked it up to see, but I didn't want to spoil anything. They said that he has earthquake abilities.
That's got to be the parking garage.
The parking
thing.
garage, because it's the only way
Earthquake
to explain
abilities.
that he can just channel
Maybe
earthquakes from the ground. And
The parking garage had like a crack in it, and he just stomped on
Almost
that crack.
certainly, but like, come on.
It's-
I think also
an
someone
earthbender.
redirects a missile with their
Earthbending.
hands
Oh
in
my
one of these
gosh.
movies. Like, they're gonna get wild.
That's doable.
We should definitely put like some of these more ridiculous ones on a list in years down the line or whatever.
They all came out in chronological order, or any like prequels.
I don't know.
or-
Then there's like the Hobbs and Shaw spinoff that The Rock did because he's got beef with one of the other cast members and like refuses to
God,
be
the Rock's
in
in
a.
this.
Yeah.
Well, Vin Diesel didn't come back to like the second or third one too, and like then he did come back, and yeah,
He-
there was a
he's
whole lot
not
of
a-
drama around these.
He's not in the second
Ja Rule
one.
didn't want to do the second or third one, and then they got Ludacris.
Yeah.
So yeah,
There's
there's
a lot of beef
flopping around.
with the
Oh.
casting and like I think it gets more stable in the later ones, but then there's like The Rock refuses to do another one. Like there's some other cast member I don't remember who that he refuses to be on screen with again, because they're being
Bummer.
little children.
Oh.
So, yeah,
I'll definitely
there's-
watch more.
I don't know. The whole cop thing was like, all right, I thought it was fine, but like this movie
Seems low impact to the story. Kind
Yeah.
of. 'Cause he didn't really
Yeah.
have any real moral dilemma.
No,
No.
He just was like, "I'm with these guys now." It's
Yeah.
like, all right,
And,
I
like,
guess that's it.
Did
Like-
he learn to race because he wanted to go, like he had to go undercover, or is that just you used to race, now you have to go undercover because
did he
it's
even use to
something you
race
know?
because he was shifting wrong and all kinds?
Well, that's
of
true. He
stuff.
was like practicing there at the beginning, but
Yeah.
I mean, you still got to practice.
Like you're shifting like a grandma. You need to be rev matching or whatever. I don't know. That stuff is all hilarious.
So, I assume, I mean, I think it's definitely true because I know there's more movies, but by the end of this one, I assume he's not going to be a cop anymore.
Yeah, that was never really tied up, but I think that's what we're left with.
I mean, he lets Dom go.
Yep.
Did you guys watch the after credits scene?
No, Instagram.
Oh,
There was one.
I watched it. I didn't watch it. I turned off the second the credits came on, but I saw it online. It's like a 45-second clip of Dom just driving through Mexico in his old
Oh,
car.
like he told his lady.
Yeah.
But was she with him?
Nope, just him.
Wow.
I mean, she could have been there. Maybe he ran out to the
he
grocery store.
loses. No way.
Well, they
And we
seem to
just
have
saw
an
him
on and
driving
off
back
again
home.
relationship anyway.
she
so who
ran his
knows?
clothes to the dry cleaners.
Minus a
get some
retroactive
milk.
hot point for leaving
Had to
your
get some
girl
tuna
behind.
and Corona.
tuna and
Yeah.
Corona.
Ew.
Let's talk
Oh,
about
what a combo.
the big scene. The big scene at the end with so they go off to Dom against everyone's wishes, and they're down. What's the one kid's name? The smart kid that gets killed later. Like
I don't remember
he
his
races
name. I
some.
don't know.
He races the big bad
Jamie?
Tran guy
Maybe.
for Pinks, and then is like, but it's my dad's car, and he's
was
in jail,
dumb.
which was
And then he
There's an awful lot to like throw on us. Like I missed if that backstory was established before that point.
I don't think so.
But I don't think it was, which is just like you're gonna lose your dad's car. Not if
also
I
seemed-
win.
Kind of like a watered down version of the one we already got with Dom, who had
Right.
a dad in a car situation. It's like we're doing this again,
It was-
like with less
It
stakes.
was bad. So then he just bones out with the car that he
He doesn't even
owes
stop
somebody.
driving.
And then there's like a drive-by shooting with the kid or whatever.
That's sad.
But that's all later, right?
Yeah.
But before that, they try to rob one more semi truck, but they're a man down. And what Brian knows that Dom and them don't know, because he's a cop and he has insider info, is that like, oh, the truckers are starting to arm themselves more, as if truckers haven't carried
Right.
guns for decades.
That's a good
Yeah,
point.
like, yeah.
Like
That's
literal
where I was like, is that really the
decades.
big distinction here? It's like they just now just started to like arm themselves to,
Well, and they gave the
What do you
first
do?
trucker in the opening
Not an airtight
scene,
plot.
they gave him a stick. He's like wailing with a stick. And then
Yeah.
they hit him with a knockout dart. And it's like, all right.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
But in a fun way. I'm not being disparaging. I think this movie's hilariously great. But
Yeah.
I think it's also really bad. But really good. And so they do the same thing where they use, and this seems horrendously inefficient, they shoot one grappling hook gun to pull the window out.
Yeah.
Whole gun, and then
Yep.
they get a second entire gun for shooting
Into the
into
seat.
the seat's headrest, which can apparently hold the weight of a man.
Absolutely.
That's what I thought was going to go wrong in that scene. I thought
He would get run
it was going
over.
to come out of the chair,
The whole scene, I was
He
waiting
gets
for him to
swung
get
over,
run
just
over.
dun, 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 like,
and that's that.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Bye, Vince.
that'd be amazing. So that all happens. I just got a work text, and I lost my train of thought.
Gross.
Thanks, actual Brian in our lives.
I wonder if he's
So that all
undercover
happens,
cop.
and then guess what? The truck driver's got a shotgun. He's got a brake
does.
barrel, 12 gauge, and he did a lot of reloading. And one of the things that I thought was stupid is like we only showed him having to reload really slowly. Like once the dude was hanging and they were trying to get him into the
Yeah.
car, and then they're like, oh, they show him slow mo reaching for shells, and but he had shot like 8 times before that.
He's
Yeah.
driving
hands were
too.
tired at that point.
That's what I
They
said. I
were
was like,
cramping up.
he's reloading and
like-
driving. Like,
Yeah, but don't have him fire rapidly and then show
What?
us that it's slow to do it.
maybe
Well,
the
it was
bullets
loaded.
fell.
It was probably preloaded.
No,
and then
but
he
he had 2 shots in it. It's a brake barrel, so you got one on the top, one on the bottom, and he had shot like more than twice.
I don't
before
think
that.
you're supposed to know that.
I did.
You're
Well-
too
I
smart.
also during after all this happens. So anyway, the trucker guy, the dude gets shot, and then he's fine, and then that's where Dom learns that Brian, because Brian calls a
Well,
medevac
Brian
chopper,
comes to save him.
and it's
Brian
like
saves him.
looks Vin Diesel in the eye and is like,
This is
this
officer.
is Officer Brian, whatever my
Yeah.
last name is.
Which
and Dom's like,
Oh,
"Arrgh!" like
Vin,
gets so
Vin
mad.
Diesel really sold
Why,
that.
yada, ooh.
Vin
That
Diesel's,
was
the,
so
Vin
angry.
Diesel's the
I
best
mean-
actor in this movie.
That's the
Yeah.
best scene of the movie. That whole chase.
No, the best scene in the movie is what is this guy crazy for sandwich? Sandwich.
Sandwich
crazy.
This
That's
guy's
the best
sandwich
line in the
crazy.
movie. It's the best part of the whole movie.
Oh
That
my
movie
gosh.
peaked early for Cam. Anyway, that all happens, and then he medevacs, and we're like, oh, he's a cop. Everybody knows he's a cop now. Grumpy. And then they all like he goes to confront Dom, and they have a gunpoint standoff that I wasn't sure the intent of either side of. Which is real. Like Dom obviously wanted to leave, but what's like? Was he going to turn him in? Did he want to be like, I'm not going to be a cop with a gun in your face?
It seemed
a
like
little
he was
weird.
gonna turn him in, but then
Yeah.
at the
And
end,
then the Tran people come and do the drive-by.
yeah.
And speaking of being annoyed by firearms,
oh, that's when this was.
they've got 2 dudes on dirt bikes, and they're like, they kill the dude, so Dom and Brian go after these guys. And Dom doesn't show up till later, so first it's Brian chasing 2 of them. And they're like on not mopeds, but dirt bikes shooting like an Uzi or whatever that has unlimited ammo in the
Mopeds
magazine.
would be hilarious.
It had hundreds and hundreds, and the thing shoots like 800 rounds per minute. Like it shoots so fast, and you're done. But he's shooting it forever. But the more egregious one is Brian shoots back and never reloads with a pistol that can hold 7 bullets.
Oh, boy.
He's got a 1911. He's like,
He,
bang, 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 bang,
he just
bang,
did it
bang.
off camera.
Yeah, no. I mean, I know it's Hollywood, but like, it's just kind of sucks. But whatever. It's also hilarious. It's more annoying if he's like, like trying to reload in the car. Would have been stupid. So I get it. But
It would've
also,
upped the ante.
and all movies do this.
Yeah.
All movies do this. It's only convenient to be out of ammo to up tension, not to maintain reality.
Right. Who needs reality?
The ending scene I thought was the most anticlimactic action scene when they're both, for whatever reason. So Brian's chasing down Dom, and then they come to a stoplight, and Dom stops, and you're like, why? It's the race between the lights or whatever. When
It's
this
a
goes,
no,
You're in high
it's a
school.
quarter mile because he lives his life a quarter mile at a time.
yeah, that's right. He's like,
Come on.
as soon as this goes green, and then they have like a stupid drag race
Yeah,
again.
like, why is that the best time to do a race?
I don't know. And also, like, can you imagine? Because they're in different cars talking to each other, but like in a low voice.
Yeah.
And all I can think of is trying to talk from one car to the other. Like,
There's
"What?"
no shot that they were hearing each other. They did that a lot.
It's got like a big block V8 with like the
There was also a scene, to go back just a little bit, when they were at Race Wars, and
Race Wars.
Brian is in an RV, and Vin Diesel, Dominic, and like a couple
the
other
other
people are
crews,
like
yeah.
far away, and he's looking out a window but hearing every word they're saying. Like, what? There's no. They're like a mile away.
It's
You're
one of their
not gonna.
superpowers, super hearing.
Yeah, that's true. They need to add super hearing to the list.
So yeah, they do the drag race. The lights go green, and they both take off and race. They're racing, and we're all like, "Wow!" And they do the worst slow motion I think I've ever seen in any movie.
Yeah.
Ever. It was so bad and choppy and nauseating, and they kept doing it because they're racing towards a locomotive.
It was like they were drugged.
Yeah.
It was like that slow, like they
So it
just
wasn't
got
just
roofied
slow
or
motion. It was like
something.
jostly, like it
Yeah.
jostled the camera around. It was dumb. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
It was the most 2000s decision, other than the rest of the entire movie.
The style choice. Yeah.
Neon and street racing and the clothing and the use of
music.
the F slur a couple times. And yeah, wow. So no, they both made it across the train tracks, and then they're both elated to the point where Dom then crashes and rolls his car over 1 billion times and then broke his arm. And then there's the final moment where Brian gives him the keys to the car, and he's like, "Are you sure?"
Do you know what you're doing?
"Yeah, dude, I know what you're doing." He's like, I don't know why he's Stallone, but he gives him the keys, and then he drives off into the sunset, and Brian's
I
just
still owe you a 10-second car.
Yeah.
It's like,
dumb,
it's like, all right.
dumb,
Full circle.
dumb, but great, but dumb. And then the movie ends without really any resolution to anything.
That's
Dom
true.
drives away.
It's very open-ended.
Brian's maybe still a cop, maybe.
The trans are just still running around
The
shooting
trans are
people.
still super powerful.
Yeah,
I don't know.
they're fine.
The Tran gang.
I mean, one of them's dead.
One of them's dead.
Maybe. We didn't see him. Somebody's calling 911 for him,
I
so
mean,
he
he-
could come back with a vengeance.
He checked his pulse.
Yeah,
Looked like
that's
it
true.
was
Oh,
gone.
yeah. Well,
Man.
I don't
stranger
know.
things have happened. Yeah.
What time are we at? Can
But
you...
hot points.
Oh, hot
Oh,
points.
yeah.
We're doing pretty good on time.
We have minor hot points. Not a lot of hot things happened.
What do you
Well-
mean? There were two girls kissing.
Well,
The
as we've
hottest movie we've
established,
watched.
we what's the word? I can't. My brain's broken. We don't talk about women. We talk about men.
That's true.
What is it? What did David say? Oh my god.
I don't know.
My brain's-
Objectify.
Objectify.
Yeah.
That's the word. We don't objectify women on the show. We
We don't,
objectify
'cause
men.
we've been objectifying women for hundreds of years in this country, so it's time we do it just to men.
So Paul Walker got a +1 for his blonde tousled locks, which
Okay.
were pretty cute. And then Vin Diesel got a -1 for talking like this.
That's just how he talks. Though.
And then when his
this
like
is kind of how he talks.
when his girl was like, "Let's go upstairs," he was like, "Ugh." I was like, "Ew, not hot." So that
Don't
gives
give me a
us,
massage.
yeah, give me a like, "Ugh." I was like, "Ew." Like,
Oh god.
so, anyways, that puts him at a 4 and Paul Walker at a 6.
Okay, so Paul Walker.
That's the only
doesn't-
hot thing Paul Walker did.
He doesn't get
Yeah.
any minus
Is that
points for
fair?
cutting the crust off his tuna sandwich.
Oh, you're right.
But then I think he gets a sympathy +1 for being dead.
No.
Yikes.
Wow.
What is that? That doesn't make a difference in hotness.
He died tragically by being a jackass with his car.
It happens to the best of them sometimes.
His line delivery was so bad.
Listen.
There was
Yeah.
I hope he gets
Go ahead.
better.
there was one line at the beginning of the movie that he had that was awful. It's right at the very first race scene when he gets out of the car and he looks at Vin Diesel. He's like, "I almost had you, man." And it was
He's
awful.
smiling
Dude. It,
like ear to ear. It's stupid.
something that, like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but something about the way he talked, especially at the beginning of the movie, really.
It was very
It
Really
reminded
was
me
strange.
of the streamer Tim when he tried to do his voice deeper
Oh yeah.
in the very beginning. That's what it
Yeah.
reminded me of.
It
Just him
just-
putting on like a false bravado.
Early Tim the Tap
like,
Man. Yeah.
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 When he was the golden voice.
Yeah. So check it. It's like this.
Yeah, that's how
I
he
get the
talks, yeah.
respect. It's like, all right.
So stupid. Should we do hit, miss, or miss?
Yeah.
Or any final thoughts first before we do that, and then
I don't have
move
any
on to
final
other,
thoughts.
other things.
No.
Okay, we don't either. Not a meaty movie, so not a meaty conversation.
Yeah.
Because it's just not a meaty movie. These movies are
So fun, though.
they're
Can you-
super fun. They're a blast. They're stupid. All right, do a dog swap real quick, and then we'll do hit, mid, or miss. The annoying dog needed to come up.
I've been being scratched.
Carl, I don't think you've ever gone first.
Oh boy.
So why don't you hit us off with hit, mid, or miss?
I'm gonna say mid, just because I think I would give this movie a 3.5, and I think that falls right smack
Right,
dab. It
that's-
is
that's
fun. I
good.
think the comedy, there's comedy that's not supposed to be comedy, but it's just funny. The
Yeah.
action's pretty good. Not really much character development, but it's fun to see an early 2000s like almost genre piece. So yeah, I'm gonna say mid.
Mid movie.
Fun watch, not groundbreaking.
I think that's
Yep.
totally fair. I'm gonna go hit
Ooh.
because of the sandwich crazy line.
Wow.
No, I had a lot of fun. I had a blast watching this movie. It's a stupid movie, right? And it's so stupid.
That's
but
why it's good, though.
that's why it's good, because it's so stupid. I can't wait to watch more of these. The only thing I kind of hope is I hope Paul Walker becomes a better actor as he's gone, because
Yeah.
man, some of his lines were boo. They were bad.
Yeah.
Well, while the camera's on us, why don't you go?
I'm gonna go with Carl, and I'm gonna go mid. Too.
Oh man, big room banger hopes dashed.
I can't give
for
this a
Fast and
hit.
the
Like, it's
Furious.
not that I didn't like it. I enjoyed it. It was great to watch a movie that didn't have me stressed to the max.
I really
but
wanted to see. You
I
know what would
can't
have
call
made?
it a hit.
You know what have made it a certified banger is if at the very end Paul Walker turned to the camera and did the "You're watching the Disney Channel" and did the Mickey
Oh
Mouse
my god.
Hi, I'm Paul Walker.
and this is Fast and the Furious, and he does the Mickey thing. And you notice how every time they do the Mickey thing in those, they just like write some bullshit in the air, and then they just like have to kind of choppily edit it to be the. It was the best. What about you?
Awful. I'm with Cameron on this. I think it's a hit.
It's a hit. Stupid. Have we agreed ever?
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever
Well-
agreed when they've agreed.
Right.
Yeah.
This is definitely a first for
We've
Carl.
never
Yes.
agreed on a split
Yeah.
decision before.
Virtual high five.
So
It's not a super deep
I don't know
movie,
how
but
that
it's
makes
fun.
Me, I don't know how that makes me feel to agree with Nick on a split decision. Actually, I feel
Listen.
like I'm not sticking to my guns. But this is a good movie.
It was a good movie.
David,
fun watch.
David called this a perfect movie,
What?
Oh, wow.
and I think
What?
for what it is, like I wouldn't change anything. It's
Okay.
hilarious.
All right.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
change anything about this movie because even if you try to make this one better, you're gonna make it worse.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah, you can't tamper with it.
Also, this was not the first movie called Fast and Furious. There was one in the 50s. Yeah.
We gotta watch
Interesting.
that
This is a
one.
reimagining.
The Fast and the Furious has got to be a play on the good, the bad, and the ugly, right?
I don't know, but there's a movie called The Fast and the Furious from the mid 50s, I think, that involves also street racing. So
You think it's a play on the good, the bad, and the ugly?
no,
It just seems like a
because it has
same
the in it.
same format. Yeah, the this and that.
The Departed,
It's
The-
not the
the-
Departed and the
Ooh.
something.
The Godfather, and the ugly.
It's multiple things. It's the good, the bad. This is the Fast and the Furious. It's two. I don't know. Maybe I'm. I should have stopped at Pocahontas.
I don't know. You can have it. All right, well, there's
Good
that.
movie.
Should we pick a movie
Let's
real quick
pick a
before we do some
movie.
other crap?
It's Carl's turn.
Oh my
Is it?
God!
Ooh.
Let's do. Should
Right?
we do the
'Cause-
funny hand thing?
Yeah, yeah,
Of
yeah.
course.
Let's do the funny hand.
Because
Thing.
Nick picked last time, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you picked
Yep.
this. All right, I've got a bent ticket, but because it's bent, we can
What does
never
it
put it back in the
mean?
bucket again because we'll know what it is.
Eh,
But we can. It's fine.
No, we can if he
Just don't look at it.
Okay.
All right, I'm mixing them up. Carl will choose right or left. Do you want to do your right or left or true right or left? Like my right
I'll do
hand or my
your
left hand?
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I hit the Brad Miller
The
bat.
bat.
Shout out to Brad Miller. All
I'm gonna
right,
say your right hand.
my right hand. So we're not going to look at that one. We are going to look. We should get a drum roll sound effect. No.
It was
Love it.
perfect. My drum roll was perfect.
Clip it. Oh no.
Why are you looking at Nick?
Oh my God. This is the best news.
Is it the Truman Show?
Truman Show.
We're watching the
do it?
Truman Show.
Right.
The Truman Show. Round of applause for
Oh
Truman
my
Show.
God. I have wanted this. I have wanted this since January 1st.
Yeah,
All
you've
year.
been waiting for Truman Show for. Who stars in this?
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
Oh, okay. I'm excited.
It's
I'm
so
excited.
good, dude. I'm excited.
I'm excited for Truman Show.
I actually saw it on Prime a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
when we-
come on.
No. I saw the
Oh, okay,
thumbnail and I was
okay.
like, I want to watch this right now really bad,
No.
but I'll wait.
Would this be considered a comedy? You're a Truman
yeah.
Show knower.
It's a
Okay,
little
sure.
bit. Yeah.
comedy.
A comedy.
The Truman Show, in a funny way, has changed how I live my life.
Even though you haven't seen it.
No, I have.
Well, he's seen it.
Oh.
I haven't seen it. You haven't seen it. Carl's seen it too, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
This is one of those seminal '90s comedies,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's like Truman Show, The Mask.
Man,
Yeah.
Mask.
I wasn't allowed to watch The Mask.
Dumb and Dumber.
Jim
Dumb and
Jim
Dumber,
Carrey's
yeah.
had,
Oh, I
had a
hate Dumb
good
and
streak
Dumber.
there.
Bruce Almighty, right?
That was a little.
Yeah.
That's 2000s, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. I've only
Right.
seen the
The worst one.
the
Bruce
worst one.
is Jim. Evan
I'm
is
gonna read the thing.
Steve.
Michael
I forgot
Scott.
his name.
Steve
Steve,
Carell.
yeah. Okay.
And Gilmore Girls' mom, Lauren Graham,
Lauren Graham.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
the wife.
Lorelai.
Lorelai.
Is that in Evan Almighty? She's the wife?
Yeah.
No kidding. Huh. There you go. Wanda Sykes is in that movie, and she's hilarious. in it.
Wanda Sykes
Yeah.
is great.
She's really funny. Well, there's that.
Truman
Let's
Show.
let's bring back an old bit, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the favorite thing that we watched this week, because I don't think we talked about
Ooh.
Fast and Furious for quite long enough, and we're not quite at an hour. So let's talk about the favorite thing that we watched this
Hey.
week, other than that movie. Starting with Danielle brought up wanting to talk about it, so she can start
Oh, so
pre-show.
we did a lot of discussing of Ryan Gosling last week. So this
Oh,
weekend,
nice.
while Cameron was off on a little cruise, I watched 3 Ryan Gosling movies.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a fun time. It was The Nice Guys, which was great.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Have you guys seen it?
No,
Mhm.
it's been on my list forever.
The
Okay,
Nice
It's
Guys?
you
so
should
good.
watch
I love
it.
that movie.
I really liked it.
Tyler talks about that movie all
What?
the time.
I don't think
It's
I would have.
stylish. It's
Yeah.
funny. Yeah.
I don't think I would have liked it had I not already been exposed to so many like more violent like gangster movies this year.
Oh my
They
God,
warmed you
Ryan
up?
Gosling and Russell Crowe. That sounds
It's
awesome.
great.
It was great. I would watch it again. I think you would like it, Cameron.
Probably would.
It's on Netflix.
If
So I
only it
watched
had Ryan Reynolds in it.
that. It would be unstoppable.
If it had that, you
If
think?
it had,
You think it'd be better if it had Reynolds in it?
I mean, I was just making a joke, but maybe
Oh, I mean, he's super good.
Just
We
the
should we
power-
gotta watch Deadpool.
we should watch
I've
it.
never seen Deadpool. She's never seen it either.
We
I
talked
haven't.
about this. You gotta watch it on the airplane.
Oh
The other 2 Ryan Gosling movies I watched, Gangster Squad, which wasn't.
Gangster
It was
Squad.
fine.
fine. Never
It was
heard of it.
fine. It wasn't as good as other gangster movies.
Of course.
And
not.
then Crazy Stupid Love, which I had seen before, but I love it.
Oh, that's another great
it's
movie.
so good.
Oh,
It's a great
Steve
rom
Carell.
com.
I can't wait for rom.
You might like that rom com.
I can't wait for rom com.
It's kind of got a little bit of a proposal energy with Steve Carell's in it.
Guess who's in the proposal though?
yeah.
I
It's
know.
not a chick flick rom com. It's
No.
like more.
The proposals.
Evergreen or
I think
It's
Universal.
every man's rom com.
Yeah.
the proposals maybe my favorite rom com that I've seen. It's super good.
Rom com month is
It's
coming.
very
Maybe
funny.
we'll watch Crazy Stupid Love for rom com month too.
We gotta watch the proposal too though.
No,
There's
you've
no way
already
Nick
seen that.
has seen it.
You've already
No.
seen it.
There's no way Nick has seen it. Yeah, it's less. The
Could be
next show will
fine
be less
cramming
about
2
what I've
in
seen though.
to each one.
We
Yeah.
could cram a couple in.
They're all short.
Yeah.
So
Maybe we'll do that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do some.
They're all light watches and they're all fun usually.
We'll do
so.
Ryan Week and we'll do both.
Ryan Week.
And then we'll talk about how they're all the same movie.
No, they're not.
They're not. The proposal is different. It's kind of like the
Well, he
intern.
means
Listen,
all
I
rom
want you to
coms are
know-
the same movie.
I want you to know when you say rom com, I think Hallmark Channel.
No. No.
No.
Because
Chick
all of
flick, I would
those
think.
are the same.
Those are like tragic.
They're like store brand.
Yeah.
And rom-com
Okay.
is like
We have rom-coms at home, and it's Hallmark.
yeah, no.
That's
The
not
rom-com is like
same.
it's like the
Oh,
there it is! Oh, there it is! Forget what I was saying. Nick just dropped his phone.
No.
Oh, that's my
Everybody
favorite
do a
part of every
shot.
episode. Everybody do a shot. We should do that. Maybe one day if we're all in the studio, we'll just have shots out on the table, and if Nick drops his phone, we'll all take a shot. And we're not doing that until this is our jobs because wow. Carl, what did you watch this week?
Oh man, so I'm a big Adventure Time fan. There's another Adventure Time series that's out that kind of takes the show into like what's happening after
It's still
the
Pendleton
series
Ward?
finale. I think so,
Good.
but I'm only a couple episodes in. But like the style, I don't know, something about it feels different. And it's like, Adventure Time is pretty famous for having like the Adventure Time swears. It's like, oh, they'll like, oh, cuss or whatever. They don't say
Yeah.
like actual word. Now they're starting to do that.
Oh
and
my
it's-
God.
It feels a little weird. Yeah, it's like, oh my God. But now like the fan actually said like, suck my nuts or whatever. And I was like, what? So it was kind of jarring. But so I don't know how I feel about it yet. But
Huh, you should've
I'm
said,
trying to
"Suck
get
my
through that.
butts."
And
It's right there.
yeah, yeah. So that's interesting. But I can't really think of anything else I've
Alright.
really watched.
Nickel.
I don't know that it's my favorite thing I watched this week, but it's one of the only things. Watched the movie Extraction, starring Thor.
Chris Hemsworth?
Chris Hemsworth. My Letterboxd review was just simply this: I didn't have high expectations, but they were met.
There's a sequel.
I know. I watched the trailer for Extraction 2 on accident because Netflix just autoplayed it. I was like, this looks kind of cool. I should watch the first one. It was fine. He's like trying to get a kid that's been kidnapped back home.
Is he trying to extract him from the kidnappers?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was.
There you go. A noble cause.
It was an hour and a half of nonstop Chris Hemsworth shooting people.
Chris Hemsworth gets all the hot points.
It's true.
He's pretty hot.
Yeah.
He's
Better than his brother.
I was gonna say he's
Yeah.
the hotter.
He's the hotter Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Not a high bar to clear. I don't like the other one. Liam. Plus his
There's
name is
only two?
Liam.
Liam's fine
thought there
too.
was
I mean,
three.
Liam also attractive.
Is there a
There's
third?
3, but I think the third one's not as big, like not as famous.
Not as famous.
Yeah.
Oh. There you go.
You know.
My favorite thing I watched this week is I binged all of the first season of Welcome to Wrexham,
Oh yeah.
which is incredible. I've never had more fun. Like that's the funnest thing I've watched in a long time.
It's got your boy.
You know what it
It's his
scratched
boy.
for me? As far as like the pleasure center of my brain, it scratched the same part that Somebody Feed Phil scratched. And I was raving on that show earlier this year. And this had that similar kind of like happy go lucky, but also, somewhat serious kind of vibe. It was very good. And season 2 came out today. The first episode.
Oh, so it's one a week.
It's weird. 1 episode this week, 2 episodes next week.
Huh.
So next week I'll have an episode to watch before the show and then after the show. But I kind of like that because I don't want to. Binging. I hate it when things end with binging. So like Somebody Feed Phil, I never finished it because I never wanted it to end. So I just never watched the last 2 episodes. Whereas if they're one at a time, I feel like that lets my brain
Process.
kind of pick at it.
Yeah. I've had a couple shows. I mean, even like I've watched Community a couple times now, but
3 seasons in a movie.
yeah. The Office. I binged The Office. I've only watched it once, and I don't remember any reference anyone ever
Ooh.
makes.
Really?
Because I just watched it all so quick.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can't retain it.
Well, you don't have cable, do you?
No,
No. You have Google TV.
it's true.
So there's some like
YouTube
we
TV.
put the channel on all like
Comedy
we
Central.
Comedy Central only plays The Office and Parks and Rec really. So
They've
depending on
been-
where we're at, we'll watch an episode here or
Yeah.
there. But because of that, I've seen every episode like 1,297,000.
Well,
times.
they've
I'm
recently
sick to
switched.
tears of
It was always The Office, and now they're throwing more Parks and Rec in there. So
good
now
for
we've
them.
been getting more Parks and Rec, which is my preferred show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like Parks better.
Parks is a better.
I've seen
show, I think.
Parks.
Parks is a better
So
show
many times.
overall just because it doesn't really fall off ever.
No,
It
it
kind of
does
hits the
not.
ground and just goes full steam ahead.
Correct.
That show's a perfect. I don't know if it has a
It's a
bad
great
episode.
show.
It has
There's
episodes
some,
I
I'm
don't
sure,
like
flat
as
ones, but-
much, but
It's a slow start, and then once you get to Hunting Trip,
but
season 1's a little bumpy.
I still go back to season 1 though, and I'm like, especially now working in government, I appreciate it
Yeah,
so
that's true.
much.
Nice.
I love it.
It's fun going back to season 1 because you know where it's going to go, and you're like, look how far they've come. Like Leslie was this one, now she's changed. Yeah, it's fun going
Yeah,
back.
And
Nothing.
It kind of
pit.
has the problem that a lot of shows have where they don't quite have their
They haven't
main
gotten their
character
footing.
worked out yet. Like they did the same thing in the Clone Wars show with Ahsoka. She was just an annoying brat early on, and they were like, "Oh my god, we have to change this character," and they just made her way more endearing. And they do that with Leslie Knope in Parks and Rec.
Yep.
Like she's too Michael
Speaking of
Scott.
Ahsoka, I started that show. I forgot about that.
Don't talk about it because
Yeah.
I have Star Wars fatigue, but eventually I need to pick that up. But the problem is I have to finish
There's so
all
much.
of Clone Wars, and
Yeah,
then
there's a lot of
ideally
Star
all of
Wars.
Rebels. But I'm never gonna do that. I'm just gonna
No.
watch a recap for that. But I haven't liked the last all Star Wars shows. So
The only
Shock.
the only Star
last
Wars show
10
I actually
years.
recommend is Andor so far.
damn it, I didn't watch that either.
Andor's good.
I haven't
They're
watched
only,
anything
like, 8
since
episodes.
first
They're not
season of
long.
Mandalorian. It's the only thing I've seen.
Wow,
Star Wars shows.
Kenobi was fine.
I liked Kenobi.
Oh, I did watch Kenobi.
Kenobi should have and could have been better.
Yeah.
There's an edit
That's it,
somebody
though.
did that just makes it a movie, and it
Yeah.
takes out a lot of the cheesy stuff. I haven't downloaded and watched it, but I've heard it's really good. And they do a
Yes.
bunch of like
I've heard of that, too.
fixes.
The first 2
Yeah.
episodes I really liked, and then it just kind of drops off.
Yeah,
I
they
think.
did another fetch quest deal. Return Leia to the parent, and
Yeah,
that's just.
eh.
Are we gonna do that with every show? Really? Are we really? Really? It should have been more like a tortured Grumpus Obi-Wan and his struggle with, reconnecting to the Force, which it was that, but it was also a bunch of other crap that just didn't quite land for me tonally. I wanted it to be a darker show. I felt like it deserved to be a darker show. They also filmed it in that stupid box that they film all the shows in, so that's why
Yeah.
like some of the chase scenes between Vader and Obi-Wan were clunky because they had 50 square feet to work in or whatever, 200 square feet, but still, I don't know. Andor was the first Star Wars show where they shot on location, and it probably felt a lot better because of that. Everything else was done
Yeah,
in
it
a
definitely
sound
does.
stage.
The writing's a lot more smarter. It feels like the political stuff feels a lot more thought out. Like it's more brooding.
Well, it's early Empire stuff too, which is great.
It seems weird though. It's like, why did Andor, which is a character that most people don't know about, like Rogue One was kind of an offshoot movie. Like, why did that get such a big budget to do? It seems, it's like, how did it not get tampered with? I don't know. How did it make it through? Yeah,
I don't know.
crazy.
I don't know. It's a good character though. So
Yeah.
well, anyway, we filled our Star Wars quota. Now we've talked about other crap we've watched about, and there you go. We drew a movie. We're gonna watch. What do we
Truman
pick?
Show.
Truman Show,
Truman Show.
baby.
Can't wait to
So
understand whenever Nick's like Truman Show or whatever.
I hope you guys like it. It's gonna be a bummer. if
You've
you don't.
hyped it up a lot.
I know. I'm a little worried because of that.
There's no way it's as good as the Hollywood seminal masterpiece Smokey and the Bandit. But with that, we're going to watch Truman Show. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out live. For those of you who did, remember we're going to do this every Wednesday at 8-ish. We'll be streaming live on Twitch at twitch.tv/The Big Room Pod because some bastards stole the Big Room. We're going to watch Truman Show. Follow us on all socials, all of them. We've got them all
Except Facebook.
Except Facebook because we're not old.
Nope.
Join the Discord. Come hang out, and we'll catch you in the next one.